to Turf Moor, where Burnley are playing Manchester City at the moment. Terrific atmosphere. There's a lovely sunny but cold winter's day here, and hopefully it should be an absolute cracker of a game for us to describe for you today. Anyway, the big team news that Tom Heaton does not play. He's got a calf injury. And we'll give you the two lineups in full later, so Paul Robinson takes his place in goal, but we'll give you the formations and how they're going to line up. No Vincent Kompany equally for Manchester City. So let's have a look at the two lineups then for this 12:30 kickoff. Ben Mee actually captains the side there, as you can see there, in place of the stricken Tom Heaton. There he is, Ben Mee. So we're just they're just breaking off for the bookies at the moment, the bookmakers' advertisements, as Burnley make their way out onto the field there. I think you get good odds on Manchester City winning this afternoon, that's for sure. Well, we're going to bring you that team news now. They just cut to an ad break for a betting company. So Burnley line up with Paul Robinson in goal. That's possibly the only change from the disappointing defeat. So Nick Pope comes onto the substitutes bench. Ashley Barnes stays there. Sam Vokes gets the nod. Andre Gray's also on the bench as well. He hasn't been used since coming back from suspension, but at the moment, five in midfield is the way to go. Obviously no company for Manchester City, so it's Otamendi and Cole off the two centre backs. But they've got to watch out for the players like Lorito and Aguero. Raheem Sterling who's been to Turf Moor before in his Liverpool days and scored the winning goal a couple of years ago. And they've got Kevin De Bruyne amongst the substitutes as well. So, and David Silva, of course. So plenty of scope there. So let's have a look at how Burnley will line up. They're going to go 4-5-1 with Defoe and Money, the two holders. Same formation. A similar formation for Manchester City again. Two holding midfielders, Fernando and Fernandinho. That's a tongue twister whenever you see one. Tongue twisting partnership in central midfield whenever you see one. Kolarov and Otamendi though will be very wary of the fact that Vokes has got an aerial threat and he's played one up top before. But Paul Robinson, what a day for him. Been at the club for nearly a year now, but he's making his debut because of the ever-present Tom Heaton. One might have thought he might have played in that cup game at Accrington, but Nick Pope got the nod and didn't really do himself justice, I felt, on the night. Yaya Toure came back to action on last Saturday against Crystal Palace and absolutely did himself justice. Two well-taken goals. Just to remind everybody who's listening into this stream, please no swearing. You're welcome to comment, but please no swearing. We are a family programme. Manchester City to get us up and running here this afternoon in the dark shirts, and off we go. It'll be difficult for me to see what goes on here because of the stream. It's just such a bright day here, but it's a traditional ground here, Turf Moor. And remember, when we've been live with Burnley at Turf Moor before, we've had some terrific action. Of course, it's not the only game taking place today. There's 4 3-o'clockers, and of course there's the London derby between Chelsea and Tottenham at tea time. As Michael Keane concedes the first row on the near side. There's Pep Guardiola. His first experience. He has had a lot to say about Burnley, that they're a hard-working, well-organised outfit, and that Manchester City shouldn't take them lightly. Last time these two teams met on this particular piece of Burnley, Manchester City won by a 1-0, and an early touch by Paul Robinson, and that'll do his confidence a world of good. Tom Heaton, for the record, out through a calf injury. I don't know if anyone asks me or tries to message me with questions about how long that's going to be. My obvious answer is I do not know. So I'm sure the Football Club will come out with a statement certainly later on with the full extent. But here come Manchester City now on the near side with Nolito. Nolito cuts infield. Danger here early doors for the Burnley defence. Cross came in. It was a dangerous looking cross there by Nolito. But it still might come here for Yaya Toure. And he gets his shot all wrong. And it goes into the stand behind Paul Robinson's goal. And it will be a goal kick to the Clarets. Burnley for the record with the header away. And it came back to Yaya Toure. And, well, he couldn't replicate the goals he got against Crystal Palace last week. Tom Heaton having to sit this one out. He's missed his first league game for injury, but that's not strictly true. He was suspended. No, he got sent off against Brighton, but he missed a cup game, I think. But he has missed his first ever league game for Burnley in 3.5 years of being at the club, since joining, of course, from Bristol City. Walton, who's been a really good replacement for Kieran Trippier since Trippier left for Tottenham a year or two ago. Ball on the halfway line now with Raheem Sterling. Has to just play it back. And now Fernandinho knocking it back. City's just coming into a bit of form, but they've dropped points at home to newly promoted teams before, like Middlesbrough. They led in that game, missed a glorious opportunity at 1-0. I remember Sergio Aguero missing a great opportunity, and then Middlesbrough came back to equalise. And there's the referee. And it's the same referee as it was a couple of years ago, Andre Mariner, who comes from Birmingham. He was the referee when Burnley won here. Nearly 2 years ago now. George Boyd with a superb winning goal, and it was a superb goal to win it. And they rolled their luck a little bit. City could have easily had a penalty right at the end, but it wasn't going to be their day. And in the end, they were league champions at the time, and just couldn't. That was one of the many nails in the previous manager's coffin, and he couldn't win at places like Turf Moor. I mean, the new owners will want to look at. Now there is a bit of weakness. Now obviously Claudio Bravo, Burnley will obviously been shown videos of how City play out from the back. No John Stones tonight, incidentally. Or today, incidentally. So. We'll have to see how that one pans out, but they do like to play from the back, City, and that could be a weakness that Burnley, I'm sure, will have been shown videos of and been preparing to try and exploit. Well, a point today for Burnley would not be the worst result in the world. It would be a terrific point for them if they could get it. Oh, they've not been afraid, of course, to take on the big boys. They pushed Arsenal close a few weeks ago before losing to one of the worst decisions I've ever seen from a referee. Craig Pawson was the culprit when Arsenal scored a goal, which was a blatant handball on Koscielny. They call it the hand of Koscielny now in around Turf Moor, around these parts. As George Boyd goes on a canter forward, plays it to Stephen Defoe. Good play, but he just couldn't find Vokes. And there was a couple of City players in good positions just to hoist that away. But that was better from Burnley. They were looking very sharp there down the left-hand side. Boyd did make a terrific run. Gudmundsson, who's been coming into a little bit of form recently. He didn't have a good game against West Brom. And I'm sure the Burnley supporters will want a good performance from Burnley this afternoon, considering what happened at West Brom the other night, which you heard on the Clarets Match live, as Fernandinho has brought down Georgie Boyd in a dangerous position, and it gives Burnley a good opportunity here from a set play. Plenty forwards, Defoe and Gudmundsson over it. The left of centre is about a good 15-20 yards from the edge of the D as that floated in. Oh, and it almost came to Sam Vokes. And he's been smuggled away but kept in. Henrik was also in there too. I think Sean Dyche wanted something a bit more than what they got, which was nothing. I think they might have been half an appeal for a penalty. I couldn't tell because of the sunshine. But here come Manchester City now on the break. With Sergio Aguero cuts inside, gets a shot in, and that's a great save from Paul Robinson. That'll do his confidence a power of good. Former England goalkeeper, 37 years old. Hasn't played a game in the Premier League for 4 years, but there was nothing ring rusty about his save down to his right there. Nolito's corner, it's short this time. Burnley must be aware of these short corners that Man City play. And in the end, the cross back in from Nolito was a poor one, and Paul Robinson could just catch it straight forward enough and just take possession of it. There's Robinson with his right-footed clearance over the halfway line, and Defoe takes it down. Now Marnie has it. Still a settled Burnley side despite the non-inclusion of the club captain, of course. Now then, was there a shout there for a penalty? Hard to see from that angle because of the sunshine. This will give us a more telling view. Oh, that's a blatant push, you know, by Nicholas Otamendi. How he's got away with that one, I don't know. I couldn't tell at that precise moment, but I think Otamendi's got away with one there. That should have been a penalty against Otamendi. That was clumsy defending there by the Manchester City man. That really looks a very, very poor decision from Mr. Mariner, the referee. But I couldn't honestly see it first hand, so it's easy for me to criticise when I've got 25 different angles to watch the game from, but there's an offside flag. But from the replays I've seen, that looked a penalty all day long. And we've got a commentary in with about 8 minutes gone of the game. Mariah Carey, is it the Mariah Carey? I don't know, but anyway, if it's a she says higher. Tell me if you're a he or a she as we just look at that again. Look at that, that's the clumsiest decision I've ever seen. How is that not a penalty? I'm not sure where the referee was in terms of his positioning, but that looked a penalty. I think Sean Dyche maybe, just maybe, have a big point. As the free kick is bundled in, it was a free kick given for offside, by the way, as we were debating whether that should have been a penalty or not. Here's Bulks on the edge of the penalty area, can't get it away, and it's hooked away, and it's back forward once again. And City, oh dear me, City, what are they playing at? Poor defending again. And this is the sort of threat that Burnley really need to pose on them now, because that back four does not look watertight whatsoever. Burnley's best chance is going to come from set play. Stephen Defoe, as we've seen before, he's a very good specialist. Keane and Meatball forward from the back, in towards the near post from Defoe. Didn't really beat the first man. City can smuggle it out. Dean Marnie in there with a super challenge. Now Defoe chases, and then it comes back again. Ward in there with a, shall we say, a no holds bar challenge. It is a very difficult. It's a very, very difficult. It's very difficult to see because there's bright sunshine above the stadium, and it's pretty difficult, I have to say. But we played 10 minutes, and Burnley giving a good account of themselves early on. By which point there'd have been a goal to 0 down against West Brom at this stage. It's Paul Robinson gets the ball. Just listening to what Howard Webb might just say. No, the TV boys were just going to Howard Webb, who's the refereeing pundit. I do have the actual commentators in there, my ear, my headset as well, so I can get a gauge of what they think. At the moment, it's still 0-0, but Pep Guardiola's team have got away with a dodgy decision there. the Birmingham-based official will be highly criticised if Burnley go on to lose the game, because that looked a clear penalty decision. Of course, at half time we'll take the customary 5-minute break to obviously just us commentators do need a little bit of a break, and then we'll be back with the second half uninterrupted, of course. Nice to have the Clarets Match live again. And we'll get a few more of those. There'll be precious few of those live Clarets games. You know, most of them will be delayed from now on in, to be honest. 12 minutes gone here live from Turf Moor. It's 0-0. Burnley have acquitted themselves really well, my team, and they've done terrifically well. And Marnie has got the decision this time from the Birmingham-based referee Mariner. Free kick wasn't the best, but it comes to Gudmundsson. He plays it out to the far side here. Stephen Ward is there. Ward, in fact, has played it back to Mee. And Mee gets it out towards Lawton. Lawton with a flick on to Gudmundsson. Gudmundsson now, a bit of space down the right-hand side to exploit. And he cuts in field. Gudmundsson strikes it, and he hits it really well. And he hits it straight at Bravo in the end. But that was really good play from Burnley. Not afraid to take on runners. Not afraid to take on defenders, I should say. Cut inside. And his shot was low down. And Bravo made a good, comfortable save. But I have to say though, Burnley have really taken it to Manchester City in this opening quarter of an hour. And they've got another free kick on halfway line. Given away. Given by Andre Mariner, who's given Burnley plenty of free kicks in the centre of the field, but they haven't given them the decision they really should have had. That was the penalty. It's about 10 yards in from the halfway line inside their own half, and Robinson is going to take it. He's come almost 30 yards out of his goal to take the free kick, and he's hoisted it deep towards the City area. And the shot coming in, and it's gone in! It's Di Marni with the first time right footer, and Burnley are in front! A goal out of absolutely nothing perhaps, but who cares? Burnley are in front! Bravo never smelt it. It was right into the corner. Di Marni gets his first goal of the season, and what a time to score it. It came from a set piece here, headed only half away by Nicholas Otamendi, and what about that? No blame at all for the goalkeeper. Poor header away, but Marni struck that superbly well on his right foot, and bang it in it went. Look at that, fantastic goal. And if City were in the game before that, they're certainly in the game now. 1-0. 14 minutes gone. And maybe justice is done for that poor decision on the penalty. And that undecision really hasn't affected Burnley in the slightest. Now they've just got to... They've got something to hold on to, maybe go forward and get a second goal. Well, with 15 minutes gone, who would have thought it? On ball forward, and that'll be picked off, but what a goal that was from Di Marni. Just absolutely thrashed it. First time, right foot, bang it, just went into the far corner. It was just amazing. Now the ball's been given away to Henrik. And all of a sudden here, Burnley are on the siege, but here come Manchester City now. Will this be the equaliser? Good tackle. Really was a good tackle on Raheem Sterling. Stephen Ward getting back. Burnley were a little stretch there. But Ward got a good footing there. Clearly gets the ball before Sterling falls down. Cornering taken quickly, Sterling again. As Toure gets it in there, but he's taken quite comfortably by Paul Robinson at the near post. And the 37-year-old has done really well with what he's had to contend with. He's made one really smart save, and he's caught everything that's been flown into his path. And he's done really well so far. Panini is online. Good to hear from you, Panini. Nice one, he says. Burnley, decent goal. Well, it was an excellent goal. The way he struck it first time, Dean Marnie. He was not renowned for his goal scoring, Panini, but he certainly struck it there. And that was one of the great goals of the season. Almost, I think the best goal we've seen from Burnley so far was probably the Stephen Defoe goal against Hull. But for technique, I think Dean Marnie's more or less beats it, because it was just hit it on the full on the face, right-footed volley, just blew in. And now his side, Pep Guardiola's side, are in big trouble now. 17 minutes gone. And now, well, from a free kick in not too dissimilar range from what Robinson's taken now from offside, he's come again 30 yards out of his goal. Again, it's a long ball in there. Obviously, the City back four don't fancy any aerial balls that come into their box. They really do. Ashley says, what a strike. And it was a great strike. Fantastic goal. And Sean Dyche will feel that justice has been done, because they should have had a penalty about 5 or 10 minutes before that. And it is justice, really, because that was a strike of pure genius, really. That's with their goalkeeper this time. 17 minutes gone. And Burnley in front. As Kolarov comes forward, the number 11 for Manchester City. Not a number you renown with a centre back like Kolarov. I just had a feeling, really, that the two centre backs for City would really not stand up to the aerial bombardment that Burnley were putting in, and so it proved. Otamendi's mistake led to the goal, but my goodness, Marnie still had a lot to do, and my goodness, he did it superbly, and it rocketed in past Claudio Bravo, the former Barcelona goalkeeper. Here's Clichy near side for Manchester City. They're looking to fight back in this game. Here's Aguero to Clichy. Clichy again takes possession. And now Aguero from Yaya Touré's pass, and Clichy pulls the ball back, and again good defence from Burnley, and Aguero tries the shot and still not away. Touré tries the shot again, body's in the way for Burnley, and Lowton just whacks it into touch, but it will be a City throw, level with the penalty area. So the danger for the moment is not over yet. Clichy takes the throw to Yaya Touré, who came back with a brace against Palace last week, and the ball played back, and another great save from Paul Robinson. Shot from the edge of the area. It might have been from Nolito. Struck it with his right foot, and in the end Paul Robinson had to stretch a bit, but it was a great save. Is it going to be one of those days that Burnley may just get lucky, get a victory? Well, they've responded from a terrible performance on Monday night with 20 minutes worth of effort and sheer determination, which has given them a deserved lead. And Paul Robinson has done a magnificent job in goals, deputising for the injured Tom Heaton, who's in the crowd today. And that is towards Nolito, but it's Paul Robinson inside his own area to gather it in. 20 minutes gone. Burnley were 2 down at this stage on Monday night. They're 1 up here on Saturday afternoon. Here's Dean Marnie now for Burnley. Back to Ben Mee. 10 yards halfway inside his own half. Just nonchalantly knocks it forward into the City half. And here there's a chance here for another break on here for Burnley. A boy tries to get the cross in, and it's a corner again. And another chance here from a set play for Burnley if they can get another one. The roof would even come off the stadium even more. Now City obviously don't fancy this. The sun, I think they'll fancy it less in the second half, because the sun will probably be in Claudio Bravo's eyes. He's shielding his eyes from the sun again. Me and Keane up from the back. Keane has scored a couple of good goals from headers this season. It's going to be Goodmunson this time on the far side. It was Defoe last time. It's Goodmunson this time. Rotation policy on the corners. This time City deal with it. Again, the challenge is coming from Burnley. Marnie in there to win the next ball, but it's ricocheted around and it's gone to Raheem Sterling on the far side, the right hand side of Manchester City. It's Raheem Sterling cutting infield in towards Yaya Toure, and out comes Robinson and claims the ball superbly well. But Burnley through, men forward again. Cost them dearly against West Brom on Monday, and almost cost them again here today as Nolito came right in on him. Halfway, almost through the first half. Burnley 1, Man City 0. Goal from Di Marni on 14 minutes. And a beautiful goal it was too. Just smashed it in with his right foot. First time, goalkeeper didn't have a prayer. And, well, I dearly hope I'm wrong here today. I've gone for 1-1. Raheem Sterling has been penalised on Mad Clarets video. If you haven't seen the video, if you haven't seen the videos yet with Mad Claret and myself, then you're missing a treat. What we do is dissect the week's football that's just been and gone, and then we discuss how the next week's set of fixtures will go. Last week we had a really stinking weekend with the predictions, but this was the goal again. Poor header away from Otamendi. He'll be disappointed with that, but nothing disappointed about that. Full on the face on the volley, never even left the floor. It was never even touched the floor. It was just right in there. And meanwhile, we've got an injury there for Di Marni. Alistair Beattie, the Burnley physio down there on the ground. SNKY11 says hello. Hello to you too. And it's good that you're all heeding the warnings that no swearing is permitted on this stream today. It's a family show. And we're on before 9 o'clock tonight. That's for sure, because we're into a lunchtime slot here. Remember, any game that's shown live or commentated live on will be repeated or will be online, uploaded onto YouTube for your viewing, for your listening pleasure later on. If you missed the live streaming here that's going on right now, of course there's quite a number of 3 o'clock kickoffs. As I say, 4 of them, Hull West Brom being one of them, Liverpool Sunderland being another. Swansea Crystal Palace, that's a big game at the wrong end of the table as well. And there's another 4 games as well tomorrow. There's also the Tottenham match later on as well. Who do I support? I'm a big Clarets fan, believe it or not. I am a Burnley fan, hence the name, JB Claret. The name gives it away, SNKY11. Burnley free kick. My team winning 1-0. And the joy on my face when that went in. Boy, this kept that in as very well, but it's knocked away by Man City. Bakary Sagna just hooking it out. A ball to the Clarets, edge of the penalty area. Can we get another one? Oh my days, this would be amazing if we could get another one. 25 gone. And if anyone who's said hello would like to subscribe, or just for a moment we're going to break off because Marnie looks as if he was going to chest it down and have another shot. Still might come here for Lowton. Low crossing there, not away properly there by Manchester City, and it still might fall there. Boy was right in at the back post, but he just couldn't get it or cushion the ball down, and in the end Bakary Sagna just smuggled it out for a throw halfway inside the City half, and they're not defending these balls into the penalty area well at all, which is a good sign for Burnley. Well, they all said Paul Robinson was going to be a weakness, but he has been a strength so far for Burnley. He's made some really good saves. Oh, but wait a moment, Aguero's in, but a good tackle from me, didn't slide in, and that was very, very disciplined defending, when other centre-backs would have been very tempted to slide in there and trying to tackle Aguero by sliding. Ben Mee just stayed on his feet and just pinched the ball right at the last minute, and that was perfect timing. And he had to time it well because it was in the penalty area. Otherwise, he might have given a penalty away and maybe even got worse a punishment for it. Here comes City again with Yaya Toure. He's one that they've really got to watch. Sergio Aguero, edge of the area. Runs inside the area. Tries to take on the defenders, but again, fantastic challenge by Matt Lelton. They're not giving anything away at the moment. Nolito will take the Manchester City corner. 26 minutes gone. We've got some Manchester City fans on there as well, as we see a chance here. Fernandinho, his pinball machine inside that penalty area. Toure's there, but again, good City, good Burnley defending as City were poised to equalise. Still not away yet. Here's Sterling, and Kolarov will strike one. Charged down by the Burnley defender. Now Burnley can break away with Gudmundsson. It's 3 against 3 for the moment. Gudmundsson down the right hand side. Ran out of ideas in the end, and in the end Fernando got back and dispossessed him. He's found Toure now, and the ball played to the far side, but again good defending, and then the ball calmly back to Paul Robinson, who calmly just hooks it away. No, Tommy, just to remind anyone who's joined us late, Tom Eaton was injured. Big news coming out, calf injury. Before you ask how long he's going to be out for, the simple answer is I can't tell you. You'll have to check. You'll have to check official club lines before doing that. We've got Daniel Sarcevic as well saying come on City as well. So the comments are flowing in. But it's Manchester City trailing as Nolito knocks it into the mix once again. Stephen Ward first with a header, but Toure wins the next ball on the far side. Toure now to Sterling, to Sanya rather, and the ball played back again. Sterling now for Manchester City. Burnley 1 up, remember, because we got my young Izzy saying why don't you include the score. I do remind people of the score every sort of 2 or 3 minutes when there's a breaking play, for example. And now is a chance here for Lowton. Burnley of course 1 up, lucky to go 2 up, and Gudmundsson has it, or Henrik rather has it far side, near side I should say. Henrik again, like Gudmundsson just a few seconds before, just didn't have support and just ran out of ideas, and the ball headed forward. And I should say, my young ladies, good to have you with us, by the way. Welcome along. I think that's a prediction. He reckons it's going to end 1-1 at half time, and he reckons it's going to end 3-1 at half time. Well, I wouldn't be so sure. Burnley 1 up, and deservedly so, because they should have had a penalty in the first 10 minutes when Otamendi was guilty of pushing down. I think it might have been Folks in the penalty area, Emmerich, sorry, in the penalty area, and the referee should have spotted it. But on the 14th minute, it was a superb goal from Dean Marney outside the area, smashing it into the far corner, and Burnley 1-0 up. Lone Master reckons it will be 2-1 to City at half time. And a chance there for City on the edge of the area. It was Sergio Aguero, and he couldn't keep the shot down. Hit it right foot on the edge of the Burnley D, dead central, and he couldn't take the chance, and he hoisted into the Jimmy McIlroy stand. That's where Manchester City are attacking. They're going to the left hand side, remember, in the first half. If you're not watching it on television, they're going towards the McIlroy end to the left. Burnley going towards the cricket field stand, or it's actually David Fishwick to the right. It's the David Fishwick stand for sponsorship reasons. And so there's a clash between, I think it's Fernandinho and one of the Burnley players. I can't tell who it is because Fernandinho's blocking it. It's Sam Bolks, in fact. Oh, that's a nasty one there. Who's going to score for City? Well, I'm not in the game to make predictions like that. Hopefully they won't score. If I'm being selfish, I hope Burnley hang on and win. But I don't think they've threatened too much. Yaya Toure is the man in form at the moment at SKY. My young Izzy says, I believe Burnley are going to defend very well the way they actually defended it against Manchester United. Well, to be fair, I don't think City have tested them enough like Manchester United did in that second half. I'll tell you what, that was torture watching that second half. I wasn't commentating that day, but my word, just watching it on television, it was just an eye-watering experience. But we got the point in the end, and it's back with Bravo now for Manchester City, who trail 1-0, 32 minutes gone. No Tom Heaton. I'll remind you one more time, no Tom Heaton because of a calf injury. I don't know how long he's going to be out for, but Robinson has done very well, SKY11. What he's had to deal with, he's made 2 smart saves, and any ball that's been flooded into the penalty area, he's plucked out of the air with great authority. He's been brilliant so far. They all thought he was going to be a weakness, but so far in his opening 33 minutes, he's been a strength. Free kick to Burnley, far side. Stephen Defoe to take it, midway inside the half, flicked on. Down to which I think that came off. It's a corner kick to Burnley. Came off a City man. So a corner it is. Let's see if we can work this one out. Well, I think the referee actually has got that wrong, I have to say. I think that comes off Michael Keane there. I think that's a chance for Michael Keane. No, maybe not. It's a corner. It is off to Mendy. It takes a touch. I think from the first angle it looks as if as Keane took it, as the ball comes in dangerously towards the 6-yard box from Gudmundsson, and Bravo was in trouble there. And that could have been trouble there for Manchester City, but they've got away with it. Decent ball in there from Gudmundsson. He's got that in his armoury, and Bravo there. I mean, Otamendi was very close to maybe getting on the end of that and maybe putting through his own net. Look at that. Oh. Bravo does not look assured at all from crosses or corners. He's not one of those. He's not a proper English goalkeeper. He's a foreign goalkeeper, and who struggles on these sort of things as Boyd goes on the chase. Burnley looking a really different proposition to what they were just 5 days ago against West Bromwich Albion. Free kick to Manchester City, however. Well, we've had amazingly no yellow cards so far. Dean Marney with his usual mistimed tackle, and Fernandinho just absolutely hacked him down. And it's his 4th booking this season, believe it or not. 35 minutes gone. SNKY11, he says, I'm a Welsh fan. I'm a fan of Sam Vokes. Says City come forward and shoot just wide. Yaya Toure caught me out there, the quick free kick. Very swift play this from Manchester City down the left hand side, and then he shoots. I think it might have hit the outside of the post, in fact. Seeing it from the other angle here. Yep, hit the outside of the post. To be honest, Bravo is not the best. If City manager finish in the top 4, then he has to be managed. Then the manager has to be blamed because his art is better. The thing with Pep Guardiola, he likes a sweeper goalkeeper. I think he had him at Barcelona and they won the league. But this is a different animal. But here come Manchester City now, who are looking at a different animal here. Big chance here for Nolito, and he couldn't take it. Good defending from Lowton again. It's a corner to Manchester City. Burnley again, just oh, they were onside as well. Lowton actually was playing them all on as well. But to be fair, he atoned magnificently with a terrific challenge. Sterling playing the ball in, and look at that. Great defending. And a bit of pushing and shoving inside that penalty area. As we see that again. Was there half a shout for a penalty? No, not for me, there wasn't. I know Robbie Savage is saying it should have been a penalty, but I think that was a brave challenge from Stephen Ward. There was no great appeals from Manchester City, one has to say. As the corner comes in, and it might break here for City, and it has gone in this time. 1-1. And it's Sergio Aguero, I think, has got the equaliser. Real blow for Burnley. They just couldn't defend the corner, and City get level. No chance for Paul Robinson, and City get out of jail. It's 1-1. Here comes the corner. Let's have a look at the replay. Ball played in there. There was a little flick in there, and it just fell invitingly for Aguero. We couldn't really miss from there. Paul Robinson got a made a great attempt, but Aguero obviously was going to get there first. Just ricocheted around, and it just fell invitingly there for Sergio Aguero. It might have been him or Fernando on the line, but whoever gets the credit deserves the goal, and it's been credited to Sergio Aguero, in fact. So it is 1-1, so I was right the first time. So Burnley now have just got to keep it tight for the next 5 or 10 minutes or so and just get to half time. You know, I think it was just a little bit unfortunate there. The luck was with Manchester City on that corner. John Dyche will be disappointed, of course, but there was nothing Paul Robinson could have done about it. And Panini has got some strong words to say about Robbie Savage. He was an awful player, and he's a dire commentator. But 1-1 is the score, and City really, they got a little bit fortunate there, a couple of ricochets, but sometimes in this game you've got to earn your luck, and City have certainly got that, but they're not. But this is not far from over yet. And remember, Burnley have come back from setbacks before at Turf Moor. They were 2-0 up against Crystal Palace here just 2 weeks ago. Or 3 weeks ago now, because we had the international break, of course. And they had that little bit of energy to come back and win it 3-2 right at the closing stages. So anything can still happen here. I feel sorry for Paul Robinson. There was nothing he could have done about it. I think it would have been the same if Tom Heaton had been in goals, to be fair. It was just stabbed goalwards. It was just caressed goalwards, and Paul Robinson just couldn't get there in time. But the ricochets just fell the way of Manchester City, really, and there's just nothing you can do about them, I'm afraid. 1-1. As City come forward now, looking to make it 2-1, and they almost did. Was it Nolito with a shot, and Paul Robinson again? Marvellous save. Well, from the camera angles, you don't really see that, the appreciation of this save. There's an injury for Di Marni as well. There's the shot. It was actually Sergio Aguero, not Nolito. Cuts inside, curls it beautifully, and Paul Robinson again. He's had a marvellous first half, despite conceding that goal. Di Marni might not be able to continue. Alistair Beattie, I think, saying that's enough now. You can't continue. And maybe that's a blessing in disguise, really, because he was already on a yellow card anyway. But he has scored that. He scored the goal which put Burnley into the lead, which has since been pegged back, and he's getting a nice applause from all 4 sides of Turf Moor. Scott Arfield will come on now to replace him. I'm certain he'll play in the centre of midfield as well. He came into the side a few weeks ago and played his part in. He's got the winner against Everton, of course, 4 or 5 weeks ago. Here's Nolito with the Manchester City corner, floated in this time towards the near post, and it's knocked away only as far as Sterling on the left hand side, but the ball should be cleared by Burnley, and it's Goodmanson now. Lawton rather to get it forward, and then the ball ricochets. It will be a Burnley throw. Last 5 minutes of the first half. Of course, up in Scotland, it's the League Cup final tomorrow. Aberdeen versus Celtic. That should be a good game. He was at Manchester United all those years ago. Never made a first team appearance, believe it or not, Panini. I thought I'd come very quick with that stat. He had 10 years in the youth sides there, but just couldn't break into Alex's first team. My young Izzy said, "Oh, just break off for a second," because I thought then Goodmanson was putting a teasing little ball into that penalty area, but City can clear it. And now I can get back to my young Izzy's comment. Goodmanson is actually down, but we'll just break off for a second. Come on, Burnley, he says. or defend this game very well. City lose. I think he's a Manchester United fan. He said he can have chances and take advantage over West Ham. I think United still have a bit way to go to catch up to Manchester City at the moment. Let's have a look at what happened there. Oh no, that's a nasty one. Back of the hamstring, and Alistair Beattie now, a very busy man. Now what do they do here down on the bench? There's Tony Locker in there, Sean Dyche. Well, if it's a pull hamstring, that could be a big blow for Burnley. They already lost Tom Heaton and Dean Marney to injuries. Dean Marney during the game, and this could be a huge blow for Burnley. And looks as if Ian Warne's calling one of the other substitutes across. They might have to change it a bit here. I'm just thinking what other midfielders they might have on that substitutes bench. And Alistair Beattie saying, I'm not taking any risk with this, and look at that. His shirt has gone inside his head, and we've got a substitution here. It's James Tarkowski, I think, is going to come on. Who can play midfield, and he affected the game against Everton by creating problems there. I'm surprised it's Tarkowski are not great, but they've got only one sub to play with now, Burnley. That's a real shame for them, and it is deeply disappointing, I have to say. Starfield just throws the ball, needs a touch on down the right hand end of the goal. Be a goal kick now. It's all a case of Burnley maybe just hanging on to half time and Sean Dyche re-evaluating the situation, I should say. So he was a good player in his time here in loan. Once scored a goal that stopped Liverpool from winning the 1991 League Championship. It was known as the Old First Division in those days. Scored against Liverpool and it gave Arsenal the title. Scored against Arsenal in fact the next season when Forest beat Arsenal 3-2 the next season in another televised match, I remember. Ball back towards Bravo again. And again, do I know who's assisted? It was just a couple of ricochets in there. It might have come off a defender in towards Aguero, and just Aguero just finished it off. Hard to tell though, SNKY11, because when the sun is really bright above the stadium at the moment, as City come charging forward. As they look to go in front before half time. Here's Yaya Toure from Sterling's pass. Sterling is free on that far side if he can find it. Sterling with a decent ball in there, but easy for Paul Robinson, near post, virtually unchallenged. Takes the ball. Last minute of normal time at the end of the first 45 minutes here. As we get towards the break, and it'll be coming at a good time for Burnley, who led through Dean Marney's goal after 14 minutes, but in the 37th minute, a bit of pinball machine in the corner from a Manchester City corner. Sergio Aguero from practically a yard out stabbed it home, although there might have been a little bit of confusion whether it was him or Fernandinho who put it in, but the goal has been credited to Sergio Aguero. Thank you for subscribing to my channel SKY11. There's plenty more commentaries coming up for you, certainly towards Christmas time, and of course there's FIFA 17 content as well. This is full audio commentary of this game. Obviously we can't show match action because of obviously the copyright issue, as City come charging forward again, looking to score again. And again, good defending from Burnley inside the penalty area. It looked as if City were going to break through again, but once again City just couldn't get the finish. Here's Toure now. Toure trying to find Sterling, but again, good sensible defending. In fact, it was Sagna and it came off him last, and that was good honest defending there. 4 added minutes at the end of the first half, partly due to the injuries for Gudmundsson and Dean Marney prior to that. But this is the opportunity again. Sterling, in fact, inside the area, just couldn't get it out from under his feet, and then it just hit the defender, Scott Arfield. Played 1 minute of the 4. We usually say this at the end of the second half, not at the end of the first. It's usually 1 or 2 minutes at the end of games, but it's 4 added minutes. As Ward has to get the ball back to Robinson. First touch was a little heavy, but he was under no great pressure, just hooked it away with his left foot. Well, Burnley's squad depth now will be stretched to its bare bones. Let's just hope these injuries that Marnie and Gudmundsson have picked up are precautionary and not going to be out for too long, because we do need these players fit and able, because Gudmundsson was coming into a bit of form as well. Chelsea Spurs was going to be a good one later on today, and of course there's a few free cockers as well. Rotherham Leeds haven't got a good record, believe it or not, against Rotherham. Haven't won in Rotherham since against them since 1982. Did the double over Leeds last season, believe it or not. Manchester City are missing absolutely nothing at the moment. Once the half-time whistle goes, we'll take a 5-minute break. Don't go away though, because we will be back with coverage of the second half as well. Live, of course, uninterrupted. You get all this for free with my YouTube channel. You have to pay a subscription for my commentaries. Here's Scott Arfield, right hand side. Tries to take on Clichy, has to play the ball back. Lowton with a dangerous looking cross and a good header one there by Sam Vokes. So be it straight into the arms of the goalkeeper. And a terrific effort. Burnley coming forward then, daring to dream. Good crossing from the right from Lowton, and Vokes attacked it just to the right of centre on the 6-yard line. And Bravo gets tested right at the end of the first half there. Vokes, who's got 3 in his last 5, really did remarkably well there to get the header on target, but Bravo, although he's not the best goalkeeper in the world, was expected to get down there and maybe make a simple save, but the first real save he's had to make for quite a little while. But we have a throw in their own half, down on the near side this time. Flicked on again, and here's Arfield again, and the free kick's been given to Manchester City. Yellow card is going to be shown by Andre Marino of Birmingham. That's to Nicolas Otamendi. And well, I don't know what it's been given for, but the referee has given it. Maybe that poor decision has just cancelled out the one that Burnley should have had in the first half, earlier on in the first half, when they should have had a clear penalty. So maybe the referee's just or maybe the other, or maybe that's just cancelled each other out. Free kick to Burnley. Defoe to take it in towards the edge of the penalty area this time. Henrik nodding it back into the mixer once again. He'll come out for Manchester City. And we've played 4 minutes. In fact, we've played 12 seconds over the 4 minutes. And there we are. The half-time whistle has gone. So, Paul Robinson, what a terrific first half. Dean Marnie, who later went off to be replaced by Scott Arfield, scored the goal after 14 minutes, which put Burnley in the lead. A superb volley. But then Sergio Aguero from about a yard out in the 37th minute has equalised. So it's 1-1 at half-time, just to catch up on a couple of messages that have come in. Young Izzy says, I've just subscribed. Well, welcome along. You will get first dibs on any videos that are uploaded by me in the very near future. SKY11 again says, what other matches are you going to cover live? Well, we'll cover the best of the Premier League. FA Cup coming up in the new year as well. So there's plenty of matches coming up live on the YouTube channel. And of course, every Clarets game live or in delay format. But we'll just end with this comment from Bonini for 5 minutes. As he comments, great first half, the match rating 5-star. As for the match rating 5 stars, as for the shot, 10 out of 10. I think he's referring to Dean Marnie's shot at the moment. But anyway, we're going to take a 10-minute break at half time with the news here that Burnley are drawing Manchester City by 1-1. And of course, it's a goal from Dean Marnie and a goal from Sergio Aguero. They're the scorers, but Marnie and Gudmundsson have been injured, and that is not good news for Burnley, who already lost Tom Heaton before the start due to injury as well. So we'll leave you for about 5 or 10 minutes. Don't go away. We'll be back with the second half soon. With the scoreline here at half time at Turf Moor, Burnley 1, Manchester City 1. Hello there, welcome back to Turf Moor for the second half. SKNY11 has messaged me during the break asking can I subscribe to the channel. As soon as I come off air this afternoon, I will subscribe to your channel, no problem at all. I don't mind doing that. Benini obviously going on about Ian Wright. He actually got his autograph. He got his autograph and then lost the card. Lost his card. It must have dropped out of his pocket. It's amazing. He's got a photographic memory of all that, but amazing little fact there that he shared with us all here on the JB Claret YouTube channel. We're just waiting for the teams to enter the frame. Now I've eavesdropped on the television analysis. Now Howard Webb reckons that from the penalty shout that Burnley should have had a penalty. Ball played in, but there was an Inter offside there, maybe against Jeff Henrik in the build-up, but the referees assisted on that near side. Could honestly not see because of the sun, because the sun is shining low down on the, shining very much on the low Bob Lord stand on the far side, and as that ball was played in, the linesman couldn't obviously see it, but even so, Otamendi absolutely barged him over. I don't know how you guys feel about the decision not being given. It should have been a definite penalty. And then there was the other incident, and then obviously the goals. Dean Marney, I heard a rumour that it was his first goal in 7 years. Would you believe? 7 long years since he scored a Premier League goal. And that was, I think, with Hull City. So he's got his first Premier League goal for Burnley. 7 years he's waited for a Premier League goal. My goodness, what a time to get it. It came from a free kick and then it came out and he smashed it in with his right foot, full on the face on the line to the far corner, but then City equalised. And that's the scoreline. As we have a look at the television pictures, there's a big drone over Turf Moor at the moment, giving us great aerial shots, not just of the football ground but of the town of Burnley itself, with its nice streets and its cobbled streets and of course the chimneys and the mills and stuff like that. Also at 3 o'clock we got Crystal Palace against Swansea, Liverpool against Sunderland, Leicester v Middlesbrough, and Hull against Swansea, West Bromwich Albion I should say. So there's plenty of 3 o'clockers, 4 3 o'clockers, plus the Spurs-Chelsea game at Stamford Bridge later on, as the two teams now emerge from the tunnel to reconvene battle for the second half. So the substitutes that are left now are Nick Pope, Flanagan, Kiteley, Barnes and Gray. But I'm certain that it'll be an attacking change if Burnley need it later on in the piece. They've already used 2 of their substitutes. Manchester City have yet to use any of their substitutes. We'll remind you of those in just a second or so. But Sergio Aguero walking out there. His equaliser has given Burnley knocked Burnley down a bit, but Burnley came back well. But of course they've lost 3 key players in one day. They lost Tom Eaton even before the game kicked off due to injury, and then there was and then Marney got taken off in the first half, and then obviously the Goodmanson injury. I think he did his hamstring. Let's hope that's not too serious. But Burnley now attacking their favoured end in the second half. The Jimmy McIlroy stand, of course, and if anyone doesn't know who Jimmy McIlroy is, by Burnley persuasion, then you obviously you're obviously not a true coach. But if anyone doesn't know who Jimmy McIlroy is, he was a famous Burnley player of the 1960s, as the header goes back towards the goalkeeper. But as I say, he was the famous Burnley player in the 1960s that played in the 1960 Championship winning time, the last time Burnley won the top division of English football. And of course he played in Europe the next year in the old European Cup. They got to the quarterfinals in 1961 when they lost to Rennes. So let's recap the two teams. Robinson in goal for Burnley, Lowton, Mead, Keane and Ward are still the back four. Arfield is now on, of course, for Marney, Defoe, Tarkowski on for Munson, Henrik and Boyd, and Vogue's the man up front. So the subs left are Pope, Flanagan, Kiteley, Barnes and Gray. Manchester City unchanged as we just see Rokes on the chase there. It's Bravo in goal, Sagna, Otamendi, Caldwell and Clichy the back four, Fernandinho, Fernando, the two holding midfielders, Sterling, Toure and Lolito, the three attacking midfielders with Sergio Aguero up front. Substitutes, Willy Caballero, the goalkeeper, Pablo Zabaleta, Jesus Navas, Kevin De Bruyne, Sane, David Silva and Iheanacho, another striker. So plenty of talent on that bench for Manchester City. But Burnley, of course, have used 2 of their 3 subs due to circumstances beyond their control. It's Tarkowski in there to win another header. Tarkowski is going to still play in that 5 in midfield, maybe one of the holding midfielders as Sterling comes down the right hand side for Manchester City, attacking their own fans into David Fishwick and shot was charged down, comes out again to Fernando, whose shot was charged down once more. Fernandinho, I should say, was charged down. And the opportunity now for Manchester City at the start of the second half. Again, if you want to comment, please do. No swearing, no. Here's Sterling. It comes off the defender. Or does it? Yes, it does. It's a corner. It's Manchester City in the ascendancy at the start of the second half. Yet to get out of the changing rooms and get into the flow of the game yet. That's Pep Guardiola. Won the Spanish title umpteen times with Barcelona, same in Germany with Bayern Munich, and has won the German title the last couple of years very, very easily as well. They've been a non-contest after 30 games. Dortmund have usually finished second, they're usually about 15-20 points behind them in second place. That's how dominant Bayern have been in the last few years, but since he's gone, Bayern haven't had it all their own way in the Bundesliga. They've had a couple of bad defeats again recently, and Dortmund have recently beaten them as well. So they haven't been at their best since Guardiola left. Free kick though to Manchester City. It's a little bit soft to me, but it's a free kick. Sterling being told to go to the correct spot. I think he's trying to buy a few yards forward, but it is on the right hand side, and Burnley have to be on their medal here on set plays. Here's the free kick coming in, and he didn't really beat the first man. Arfield easily got it away, and then the shot back in from Nolito is almost cleared the David Fishwick stand, believe it or not. And a goal kick it is to Burnley. 3 points to Wigan, I think that would be the phrase. Well, there we go. Is that going out the ground? To use a cricketing term. This was the chance there for Nolito. It was Aguero Robin and Fernandinho were all got hold of the second shot, which went trickling wide. As Raheem Sterling takes possession from Manchester City, seems to have got his game up and running a bit more better, Sterling, since Guardiola's come to the club. He's worked a lot harder than he did under the previous manager, Pellegrini. On ball forward, and a chance here for Burnley to try and exploit City's weakness, but Otamendi did just enough. It's back with Claudio Bravo. And just to remind you, the last 3 times that City have played in the Champions League, they haven't won a game, and I don't think they've won a game since conceding the first goal this season so far. So plenty of good statistics and plenty of positivities for us Burnley fans to really take heart from. What a nice thing to say about our away stand. The David Fishwick stand, lovely wooden seats, great view. I'm not sure many away fans would share that view, but it has one thing the David Fishwick stand does have is an absolute beautiful atmosphere, and it's a good job Burnley fans are now back in it, because it really gives it a third dimension. It gives away supporters a real wake-up call, because they know they're going to be in a game, whoever comes to Turf Moor, whether it's Manchester City or Chesterfield. It's just one of those stadiums that when it's full, it really gets the juices flowing, and not many teams, only Arsenal and Swansea have won here this season. And here's Toure now for Manchester City, over the top from about 20 yards out. Shot just to the left of the centre of the D, but over the top it went for a goal kick. Played a nice little 1-2 with Nolito. and then just smashed it in with his left foot, but as soon as it left his left foot, it was going high, wide, and into the Manchester City fans behind that Paul Robinson goal. 51 minutes gone, 1-1 is the score. Here's Paul Robinson with his right-footed goal kick. Up towards halfway it goes. With City win the next ball. Ben Mee winning another header. And then the flick on just favours Manchester City. It does, and it's Fernandinho now taking it up now over on the far side. Michael Keane, no presence of mind, cutting that through ball out. It was good reading of the defending there. Burnley have been a lot more watertight in defence in this game compared to West Brom on Monday night. I know the conditions were awful, but as I said to Mike Clarett the other night on his video, our video, which is Let's Talk Football, and if you haven't subscribed to Mike Clarett's channel, please do. And if you want to listen or watch us in action in that particular programme, discuss this particular episode that's just gone. It's just been released today, so if you after the game and you want to listen to a bit of football chat while the other 3 o'clockers are going on, you're more than welcome to do so. We talk about the retirement, of course, of Steven Gerrard and what he's achieved in the game, and our moments, of course, with him. And he was a good player in his time for Liverpool, he really was, and he showed a lot of loyalty to that football club. Meanwhile, Manchester City have a corner with Raheem Sterling, former colleague of Gerrard's himself, right for the corner in towards the penalty area. Again, good header, won this time by Scott Arfield. And it's City now looking to break again with Sterling on the right hand side. Good block by Jeff Henrik. Remember, Burnley have beaten Liverpool here, they've beaten Everton here, they've beaten Palace here, they should have beaten Hull here, they've also beaten Watford, so they've won I got 3 or 4 times at home this season, so they know how to grind up results. They should have won, should really be 5 wins, because they had Hull on the rack, and then Snodgrass in the virtue of the last kick of the game came up with an equalising 3 kick. So it's Burnley are still right in this game, 1-1. But I tell you what, a draw today against Manchester City would not be the worst result in the world. As Sterling plays it infield to Fernandinho. Fernandinho plays it out. As Yaya Toure is further forward as well. City get to use a change. Fernando now for City to his name, almost his namesake Fernandinho, but he's dubbed it to Sterling, or to Sagna rather. This is Sterling. And it's hard to tell who's who in this blazing, well, not blazing sun, but a very low sunlight here. And that's a good challenge by Ward on Sterling. And as that's gone behind for the corner, it was Tarkowski across. It is a corner. Or is it a throw? I think he's giving a throw there. Or is it a goal kick? I think he's giving a goal kick, I think. Because Fernando was arguing the case. Let's have a look at it again. Ball played in towards Sterling. Yep. Just goes over the line. I think it does come off Raheem Sterling last of all. Goal kick given. I think the referee got that one. The referee and his assistant got that one right. It's not often I actually praise the officials decisions like that, but the linesman's got a difficult job on that near side just because of the sun beaming down above the low stand. And as we see a Manchester City team, it's substitution. It looks like Iheanacho is going to enter the fray here with 55 minutes of the game gone, and he's a deadly finisher as well. Burnley who have the best supporters around. One thing we are in Burnley, very loyal towards the football team. We do give good support for a small town as Burnley come forward again looking to score another one, but the cross wasn't particularly good that time. I think we will miss the industry and work rate and decency of Johan Gudmundsson, but let's hope that as a good committed challenger now, Ben Mee's gone and hurt himself. Let's hope that's not serious. Sterling is also injured as well. I think Ben Mee's come off better off than Raheem Sterling, because Sterling was down on the ground, although Mee's just gone down there. So again, more work for Alistair Beattie to do. I think Sterling's collided in him. I think that's a free kick to Burnley. Sterling's absolutely cleaned Ben Mee out there. Silly challenge from Raheem Sterling. He's up on his feet. Because Burnley has clearly got the ball for me, and Sterling has gone in there, whacked him out, and there we go. Whilst we got a breaking play, my young Izzy has been on, and he said, "Can I have your own opinion? Who's the best coach in the world, and who is the best coach in the Premier League? Be honest." Oh, that's a hard question for me to answer. The best coach in the world, up until maybe last season, was probably Guardiola. I think he's finding it a bit more tougher in the Premier League. As for the best coach in the Premier League, I would have to say Antonio Conte. Purely because his Chelsea team are keeping clean sheets. They played some magnificent stuff just a couple of weeks ago, and they totally obliterated Everton off the park in that 5-0 demolition job. I think, although I think the man, Brian Clough, I think he's talking about this era, Panini, not for 20-30 years ago like us old timers. But Guardiola, yeah, up until last season I thought Guardiola was the best coach around, but this season I think he's finding it tough. But at the moment I think Antonio Conte would be the man in the ascendancy's team are top for a reason. They're keeping clean sheets, they're well organised, their attack looks absolutely solid, as opposed to what it was under Mourinho and Goose Hiddink last year for Chelsea. And I think at the moment you have to make Chelsea favourites for the league title. That's my opinion, and that is my honest, true opinion. Anyway, here come Manchester City back with the game now, and both Sterling and me are okay. I mean, the Burnley physio was having a lot to do today, a lot on his hands. He's got 3 injured parties now in Heaton, Gunmunson and Marnie, which is sad really, but if Burnley can hang on in there, maybe just hold on for a draw, and that would be a good point for Burnley. I think now he's Sterling. I think his match is over. I think he's been replaced. I think Ian Nacho has replaced him. I'll have to check that one. And I'll just have to answer this comment about Leicester in a second or two, because we've got City on the ball. My young Izzy says, so nobody thinks Manchester United is the best. Well, I can't really comment on Mourinho, young Izzy. I think it's a difficult one with him. He's coming to a club that is still reeling from the loss of Alex Ferguson, and I think he needs a bit of time. I know he spent a few quid, but he's got to get that side and get it gelled together, and I don't think you can work it up on Oracle overnight. As we just break off as Manchester City go on the break. A chance here for Yaya Toure in the penalty area. He goes down, and there's no penalty given. I looked very hard at the referee, but still not away yet, and it still might come for Manchester City, and it's being bundled in by Aguero again, and the goal has been given. Oh, that's sad news. That is sad for Burnley. City have scrambled on 2 lucky goals. He's got lucky, Guardiola, there's no doubt about it. He scored 2 poor goals, and they've got lucky on each occasion. It's Burnley 1, Manchester City 2. Well, was there a penalty there? No, good tackle. They just got lucky here. It was Mane again. There's the ball, comes back there, and he just stabs it in. He's very lucky, Aguero, I have to say. They've been lucky there. They've got lucky with the ricochets. Me and Ward, I have to say, got in each other's way. Then the ball was knocked back across, and then, oh, that is sad. That is the most luckiest goal I have ever seen. Sani was involved, Fernandinho getting it back across. Aguero's got lucky on 2 accounts, I've got to be honest. The first goal was a touch fortunate, and the second one was even more fortunate. And Burnley are 2-1 down, and in my opinion, quite undeservedly, because they battled hard and do not deserve to be 2-1 down, in my opinion. That's surely got to be a foul there. The referee's not spotted it. It's a clear foul. It's a clear push on Henrik. What's going on, referee? Ball's out of play. Now, back to the question we were going to answer earlier. What is the big blow for Leicester City's season? Well, they lost Carlo Conte, and he's benefiting with Chelsea at the moment. They've lost him, and also the fact that they're now favourites to win every other Premier League game under the sun, which makes them vulnerable. But they've not been affected too much in the Champions League because they're underdogs. I think it's just purely because they like being the underdog, and that's why they had all that overachievement last season. Manchester City, lucky in my opinion to be winning this match 2-1. They've had the luck that's been going, let's be fair, they've made it, but they don't deserve to be in front. I think Burnley have been very unlucky. The luck's not been with them. 2 injuries, and maybe they should have had a free kick just then. They should have had a penalty as well, clear penalty. And that's, oh, the referee has got to give that. Oh, about time, clear foul on Tarkowski. But there's no way Burnley deserve to be behind in this game, because they've matched Manchester City, in my opinion, in every single department. The only reason they're losing is because of 2 pieces of luck and the 2 injuries. Otherwise, I still think Burnley would be winning this football match. My humble opinion. Free kick to Burnley. Defoe to chip it into the mix. Ben Mee's come forward. It'll come out again. Henrik tries the shot, and it will be a corner. Got a deflection, and Burnley now, can they fight back and get themselves an equaliser, which on balance I think they deserved. Keane and Mee might as well go for it. They've done really well. They've had 4 corners to City's 7. See what they can do here as the corner comes in far side. City just about get that away. Arfield will keep this one alive. Defoe has it. Arfield continues to run, but the flag annoyingly has gone up for an offside decision. It's frustrating now when you're a club like Burnley, and you're getting, I think the decisions have gone against us again today. I think the referee has been appalling. Should have had a clear penalty in the first half. Mane's goal was some way towards justice, but then there's the injustice of 2 lucky goals for Manchester City as well, and the injustice of losing 2 key players to injury, which is deep blow. Plus Tom Heaton. Let's be fair, Paul Robinson had little or no hope with the 2 goals that had gone past him. But Burnley don't deserve this, not by a long chalk. And that looked as suspiciously like offside, and I'm very certain it was against Aguero, otherwise there would have been a murder done if that had been given. That was the clearest offside, despite the sun being over the Bob Law stand. Look at that. He's clearly 2 yards offside. I think if the linesman had not spotted that, there would have been an almighty uproar. A free kick to the Clarets is the right decision. 20 minutes gone in the second half. Burnley do not deserve to be 2-1 down in this game. They've played so admirably. They've worked hard. Their work rate has been nothing short of phenomenal. But they don't deserve to be 2-1 down, in my opinion. Here's Tarkowski for Burnley. Oh, he turned nicely there on the halfway line. That was a lovely little turn. And letting ballroom dancer would have been proud of that one. It's another throw then to Burnley, and the ball way back towards Keane onto Mee, halfway inside his own half. Burnley 1, Manchester City 2. It's really cruel luck on Burnley, who don't deserve to be losing this game. That should have been a free kick. Again, the referee in there, but he's played on, but there should have been a free kick in the first place to Burnley, and he's given it to the advantage to Manchester City, which I think was totally wrong, because there was a free kick in favour of Burnley there that should have been there. And now City getting the benefit of these decisions as Sané now comes forward, finds Sagna now for City. I don't like to, but I'm just wondering now, do the officials just take do they give a fair means to the lower end sides? That looked a clear free kick to Burnley at the other end. As the cross comes in, it's a corner, but Burnley should have been taking a free kick by now. And the referee, oh my goodness, now what's he doing now? Now, Otamendi should have been, well, that's a booking for Otamendi first of all, and Lawton quite rightly takes Otamendi out, because let's be fair, let's be fair. Otamendi should be in the dressing room now having an early bath, because that was a clear foul by him on Henrik. And Otamendi has got away with a second booking himself, and I think the referee didn't spot it, and I think he was in a good position to see it. Here's Sagna now with the shot, charged away. And Burnley now, what they will do, Burnley's not stop believing. They will never give in. And they're still in the game. And they do have one substitution left to play with, so they're still all is not lost. But what Sean Dyche can't do is leave it too late. He's got Ashley Barnes, who's got a good record against Manchester City. He got the equalising goal, remember, in that 2-2 draw, if you remember. If you remember a couple of years ago. And they came from 2 goals down in the first half and then came back magnificently. They're certainly capable of doing it again today. Here's Tarkowski on halfway. Looks for support. He's got it now with Defoe now. Into Folks. Folks turns nicely. He's got a good runner here out on the far side. And it's a good cross in there from the far side. It was Ward who'd gone forward, and now City could catch Burnley on the break. It's 3 against 3 for the moment as Sané breaks out. Here's Sergio Aguero again, and the ball towards Sané, and again good disciplined defending there by Michael Keane. Was getting there first, but not very far though. Back with Bravo. "17 goals they've struck on the road this season." Just lost sound there for a moment or two. As Burnley look to try and get back to 2-2. And ball forward, that's offside against Aguero, who's actually continued to stuck the ball in very nonchalantly, but that should be a bookable offence, that, because he's clearly offside, and the referee should be booking him for that. Let's have a look. Look at that, he's offside there. When the referee's blown up there, Aguero shouldn't be doing that. I'm sorry, but that's ridiculous. That's disrespectful. I'm sorry, but I'm not having that. Disrespectful. Absolutely disrespectful, and I think Mariner should be booking him for it. Ridiculous. And quite rightly so. That's not sportsmanlike behaviour. Burnley free kick on the edge of the area. Foul on Arfield. Good decision this time by the referee. And can Burnley get themselves level? 20 to play. And Otamendi, how is he not in the bath right now? He should be going for an early bath. This man should be sent off by now. Absolutely ridiculous. How many more challenges is he going to make before he's going to actually get punishment his way? Stephen Defoe over it. He's got a good left. He's got a good shot on him. He's got a wonderful right foot as well. Will it be the floater or will it be the shot? It's to the right of centre, 2 yards from the edge of the box. The wall is back a full 10 yards. Referee's happy. It's going to be right-footed. Will it be a floater or a shot? It's a floater in towards the penalty area. It's too close to Bravo. And he takes it nonchalantly. Maybe it would have been a better idea, really, Defoe having a shot, really. But Burnley's still in... Burnley's still in with a shout, though, of trying to get 3 points. Well, trying to get a point from this game. They deserve something from it. And it's back with Paul Robinson. 71 minutes gone. Oh, Henrik was barging in there. Referee's giving the decision against Burnley, not for the first time today. Again, a long ball forward from Robinson, causing confusion. Henrik was entitled to go for that. I don't think there was a foul at all. I think the referees, again, giving City the benefit of the doubt because they're the bigger team. That's what they've done. But it's a free kick again to Burnley. Halfway inside their own half. Paul Robinson again coming way out of his goal to take it. And come on, Burnley, is there anything they can produce here in the remaining 18 minutes plus stoppage time? They've deserved something out of it. A point would be brilliant. Here's Paul Robinson, right-footed, 10 yards from the halfway line, and he knocks it deep into City territory. Keane was going forward of all people, but it's a throw. He's yielded a throw level with the area through Burnley, and they need something here from this throw. Burnley, they had to go back to Lawton. Now can he get the cross in? It's a decent one towards the penalty area, flicked on, but the tame header by Keane into the path of Claudio Bravo, who can pick them up all day long. A long ball forward, but Defoe will get there. That's a foul. Nolito can moan and groan all he wants, but he's going to get himself a booking here. I'm sorry, but Nolito is absolutely wrong. You can't get away with bookings for dissent. I'm sorry, but you can't. SKMY 11 says, can you subscribe to the channel? I will, as soon as this broadcast is over. As soon as this broadcast is over, I will subscribe to your channel. Do not panic, okay? As we just seen Nolito, absolutely, he thinks he's annoyed with the decision, but City here could be in the process of losing discipline as that ball comes in towards Tarkowski at the back post, and it could go in for Burnley. Scrambled away somehow off the line. And, oh, when you looks in for Manchester City, my goodness, you looks in. Oh, it looked as if the equaliser was destined to be Burnley's, and it should have been. Well, let's give credit to Kolarov right on the line, otherwise that's 2-2. Burnley still coming forward with Defoe into the penalty area, but it just won't break for Burnley. Oh, it looked as if City were going to concede a second one there, but Kolarov, virtually on his own goal line, hacked it away. And when you looks out, like Burnley is at the moment, it's certainly out. Quarter of an hour just over to play. They're not out of this. Dyche, Moor and Loughran discussing things on the bench. They've given a good account of themselves today, the Clarets, there's no doubt about it. But Manchester City have been lucky with 2 lucky breaks. Robinson with a long kick. Here's Arfield, now a chance here with the ever running Stephen Defoe, and he's yielded a corner, and Burnley now starting to create pressure here on this Manchester City goal. There's a player down injured though, Bakary Sagna. He's going to have some treatment now. It's been a game littered with challenges. Boy was in there. There was no contact there. Sagna is looking for that. I'm sorry, but he's not touched him at all. I'm sorry, but that's not a foul by George Boyd. If it is, we will be giving free kicks every 10 seconds. Sorry. And remember, we'll try and get a verdict from Sean Dyche, of course. As I said, there's 4 3 o'clockers, and then there's the late game, and then there's 4 more tomorrow from the Premier League. As we just Sanya now has to go off, so City temporarily down to 10 men. Can Burnley get themselves an equaliser? With City temporarily one player short. Stephen Defoe to take the corner from the far side. Can Burnley yield a second goal here? Get themselves back into the game and make it a grandstand finish. Defoe and the referee wanting words with one of the City players. Any more lip sending, you'll be booked, I think is the message there from the referee. Now the linesman can get out of Defoe's way. Me's forward, Tarkowski's forward. That's in there towards the flick on, and a chance here, and they appeal for a penalty. I think he's giving it the other way. I think there was a high foot on Henrik. And if that's another poor decision, why goodness me, the referee's going to get some stick afterwards. There's the flick. That's a penalty. Unless he's given offside here. But that's a high foot. Referee here wants to have a good look at his performance because it's been pathetic. Should have given Burnley 2 clear penalties. Nolito's off and De Bruyne's on. But I'm sorry, the referee has been absolutely appalling, and he will get a bit of criticism in the post-match analysis. So Burnley maybe had a case for 2 penalties there, although maybe Henrik was just a touch offside. But having said all that, City have got away with some major decisions here today. Burnley have won the ball back though. They will not be perturbed. Here's Boyd. That's a foul. That's a clear foul. As you'll ever see, and Marina has not blown for it. And conveniently he'll give it to Manchester City because Fernandinho's been tagged by Tarkowski. But this is ridiculous. There was a clear foul on George Boyd not 10 seconds before that challenge from Tarkowski on Fernandinho, and he gave nothing there. Ridiculous refereeing. Absolutely ridiculous refereeing. And he's lucky he's not had more than one put past him, to be fair. My young Izzy says the referee's appalling. I can't say it because it's a swear word. Please don't swear if you can help it. I know emotions run high in the game, but we don't want to swear. It's a family show, remember. Here's De Bruyne on the far side for Manchester City. They haven't deserved to be 2-1 up, and if they go and score another one, I think it's undeserved on balance of play. But I just think the referee has been appalling. I think he's given a lot of the decisions in Manchester City's favour. Burnley should have had 2 clear penalties in my opinion. I know whether there would be a debate or not about an offside, but Burnley were convinced they should have had a penalty. Here's Bakary Sagna now into Sané. Sané tries to curl one into the top corner, but it's from outside the penalty area. Well, it's under the David Fishwick stand for a goal kick. 2-1 to Manchester City. 10 minutes to go. 10.5 minutes to go plus stoppage time. But Guardiola's team have got away with 2 blatant penalty decisions today. They should have had 2 penalties given against them. And oh, that's no, I'm not having that. Sean Dyche, what are you playing at? Stephen Defoe has been our most creative player. You go and take him off. You go and take him off, Dyche. What are you playing at? Ashley Barnes is on, but Stephen Defoe, come on. Keep him on. That's our best chance possibly gone now. I'm sorry, but that's not a good substitution at all. You take off one of our best creative midfielders and you put on... Oh dear me. So Louise Andrew Gray doesn't get a game, but take Jeff Henrik off or somebody like that. Don't take Defoe off. That's your best piece specialist gone. What are you playing at, Dyche? What are you playing at? It looks as if he's going to change it to 4-4-2, I suspect here. They've got to go for it now, Burnley. 10 to play. Sometimes I've criticised Dyche for his substitutions and I've been known to get egg on my face. I hope it is the case because Burnley have deserved something out of it. I just thought that substitution again of Defoe was odd. When you're chasing the game, you need a creative player like him in your ranks. I just think that was a hasty substitution from Dyche. Although Barnes can affect a game himself, don't forget. Me winning another header. Just a little bit of a... Oh, mistake here. Tarkowski will pounce here for Burnley. I just need to get some support here for Tarkowski here, Burnley. And Tarkowski, well, on his own, he's wibbled away, and he's found a good ball here for George Boyd, but just overhit the pass. Otamendi, who shouldn't really be on the field, in my opinion. And that should be a corner to Burnley, though Otamendi's saved throw, but that's, well, if he's trying to influence the referee, it's not going to give him, it's not going to cut much out, because in my opinion, but Tarkowski here, terrific. Any red cards? No red cards. We've had a few yellows. Now let's have a look. Did this go out for a corner? Of course it did. Of course it did. But he's given a throw. He's believed Otamendi's utter lies there. I'm sorry, but Otamendi has been the villain of the match. He should have had a penalty given against him. He should have been sent off for more than one bookable offence. The lad's got away with blue murder today. I'm sorry, but there you go. He's the villain of the match at the moment with 82 minutes of the game gone. 2-1 to Manchester City, but it's nowhere near deserved, in my opinion. And anybody else who's commentated on this game should feel the same way, as Sané now runs forward at this Burnley defence. Exciting little player he is, and Ben Mee got it out. Here's Bakary Sagna again. Sané once more running at the men, but Tarkowski, oh, he was a little bit casual there, Tarkowski, a little bit dopey there, I suppose. He's giving the ball back to Fernandinho. Oh, good tackle. Ben Mee, done well. And Arfield tries to carry it out. City now still throwing men forward, to be fair. They've Otamendi to Fernando, and then back to Sagna, but I'm sorry, but Burnley have been on their own end of a few major decisions today. 2 huge chunks of bad luck, not to mention 2 horrible injuries to 2 key men that could have made a hell of a difference. And Burnley have got... Oh, he's giving it the other way! That is ridiculous! That is an awful decision. It's a free kick to Burnley. Barnes was barged into. That's a free kick to Burnley. I'm not having this. Absolutely appalling decision from the referee, as we see Gareth Southgate there again. But I'm sorry, this referee is getting on my nerves, really. It looked a free kick to Burnley, and he's giving it the other way. Absolutely appalling decision. Six minutes just under to go, but some of the refereeing has been appalling, I have to say. I can't defend some of these decisions that Mariner has made, and when he looks back at this performance, he'll know that he should have given Burnley maybe 1, possibly 2 penalties. Maybe sent off Otamendi for some really bad illegal challenges, and Otamendi getting it forward. They don't deserve any praise, Manchester City. They've been lucky. They've won by luck. They've won courtesy of a few referee decisions as well. Robinson carried the ball out and kicking it as far forward as he can up towards the edge of the City area. They're having all the luck that's going, unfortunately, for Burnley here for Manchester City. Burnley 2-1 down. Don't deserve to be. They deserve to be at least on parity, if not winning. As Keane bundles forward, the former Manchester United man chips it in. Nobody was there. Why play a ball like that? Straight the arms of Bravo every day of the week. That's appalling. That's appalling from Keane. Bravo, as dodgy as he is, that's meat and drink to a goalkeeper of his stature, even if he is a bit dodgy. Burnley scored in the last minute against Everton, scored in the very last seconds against Crystal Palace, although that nearly went away when Townsend scored. And ironic cheers because Aguero has been penalised. And do you know what? It's been... You know what? It's been a long time coming when Burnley were going to get a decision. But we've been getting nearly 3 kicks in the area, but in the middle of the park. But in the penalty area, we've had 2 clear penalties not given. And to be fair, it wrangles a little bit. Free kick to Burnley. Robinson into the mixer once again. This will be difficult for City to defend. Shot comes in, it comes out. It's Boyd with the shot. He still might come here for Burnley. Another shot charged down. De Bruyne leads the charge. And now Aguero over the halfway line. Goes towards the left. In towards De Bruyne. But Burnley got back in numbers. Did well. Goal kick. That'll suit Burnley. They have been lucky today, Manchester City. Let's make no mistake about it. They do have quality, but his side have been lucky. Guardiola's side have been lucky. I'm not sure I can accuse him of bunging a referee or whatever, but you can't really accuse him of that. But he's got away with a few decisions. Like he did in his Barcelona days, he seemed to buy the referee's decisions in his Barcelona days. But here come Burnley though, and making it not so easy for Manchester City at the moment. Here's Boyd. And here's a chance for Arfield. Vokes is waiting in the centre. It's hooked away. It will be a throw. Burnley knocking on the door. Free to play. Plus time added on. And I'm guessing it's going to be in the region of something like 4 minutes. Come on, Burnley's the cry. Will it be a long throw? City will not enjoy this whatsoever. Long throw into the mix. It wasn't a particularly good long throw, I have to say. Burnley have another chance here. Lawton, can he get the ball into the mixer? It's too long though. It's a goal kick. As Jesus Navas comes on to replace Aguero, who's been lucky. It's 2 goals. This was the first one. Big, massive chunk of luck. Had to prod it in, and then the second one again. Lucky again. Just look, it's just luck from Aguero. Everything he's touched is just turned, and he's got to come off. Come off quicker. Come on. That's blatant time wasting as well. Get off. And to be fair, from a Burnley viewpoint, I'm glad to see the back of that lucky Argentine as Navas comes on. And Bravo should be done for time wasting. He's taken about 10 seconds over this goal kick. It's ridiculous, really, in the extreme. Burnley have been very unlucky with certain decisions today. They should have had 2 possible penalties. Otamendi should have been sent off for 2 bookable offences. And City have scored 2 lucky goals. Oh, good. He's going to give a free kick. Fantastic decision. I might sound biased on the commentary, but I'm seeing what I'm feeling, and I think Burnley have been hard done by on certain decisions. I can't... Oh, they're giving it to Aguero. I'm sorry, but you can't give it to Sergio Aguero. He's had 2 chunks of luck. You can't give it to Aguero. I'm sorry, but there have been Burnley players who have played a lot better than him today, and yet he's got it. No way is he man of the match, in my opinion. But there's still a chance for Burnley. Let's see if we can get a bit of justice inside that penalty area. Just couldn't come away. Just wouldn't fall for a Burnley player inside that penalty area. And here's De Bruyne on the break for City. De Bruyne has got it out to the far side. Navas is on some a lot of space on the right. 4 added minutes at the end of the game. As City now just try to keep possession and try and tire Burnley out, I suppose. Navas is onside, and a chance here now for Manchester City, but what a good tackle again. I tell you what, Tarkowski has thrown himself here, there and everywhere today. He's been okay since he came on in that first half. He's done really well. Here's De Bruyne now for City. 2-1. They haven't really shown any respect either today. I thought Aguero's lack of disrespect was evident to see. I was disappointed with him there when he was clearly offside and then still proceeded to waste time by putting the ball into the back of the net. Now we'll keep the pressure on the top teams at the top of the table. City are one of the two or three teams that are battling at the moment at the top end of the Premier League table. Burnley, they should be pleased with the performance, albeit the result may well go against them today, but there'll be more winnable games for them, I'm sure, in future. I mean, they've got to go to West Ham, and West Ham don't do well at the London Stadium at the moment. And I'll back them to beat them Manchester United tomorrow in the Premier League predictions. You can hear all that on the Mad Claret channel. You see all that on the Mad Claret channel because we are visible. Burnley are still in with a shout. We've still got 2 minutes of the 4 to play. Ball knocked in there. Otamendi getting that one away. But Burnley have battled and battled and battled and deserve at least a point out of this game. Robinson, who's played terrifically well, I have to say, in the Burnley goal. It'll break here for Henrik. Henrik gets it forward. Now Lawton. And he's showing he was tagged there by De Bruyne. Has to be a free kick to Burnley. And it's a good position. It's just a shame that he took Defoe off, really, because his accurate free kick taking was there to be all to be seen. So it's a free kick. Throw everybody forward. Might as well go for it now. It's Lawton to take it. This delivery needs to be accurate. It could be one of the last chances here Burnley get. 20 forward. It's just to the right. 10 yards from the area. Not far from the byline. Decent ball in. Bravo didn't get anywhere near it, and he's got away with it again. He got away with it again. How on earth is he a lucky goalkeeper or what? Because he lost it, and it just wouldn't go for Burnley. That is how bad luck this has been today. Bravo got nowhere near it. Header one, and how has he got away with that, the goalkeeper? That is just unbelievable. Poor goalkeeping there. It broke for Keane, and how is that? How is that? Ben Mee got in the way as well, which didn't help matters, and Bravo's got away with it again. But still Burnley attack. They're not finished yet. Lawton, it'll be a throw to Burnley. They're not finished yet. Level with the area. 30 seconds of time to go. Can Burnley save themselves? Oh, what a finish to this game. Surely Burnley deserves something out of it. Lawton with a long throw into the mixer. Header one at the net post. Oh, and Bravo saved again from Barnes. What a lovely overhead kick, and Bravo's got lucky yet again. Tarkowski with the header, and Bravo, very lucky goalkeeper today, I have to say. And City are a very lucky side today, I have to say. Everything they've touched has been lucky. And the whistle goes, but no way in the world City deserve 3 points today. Burnley worked hard, gave them a good game, deserved a point. And 2 pieces of luck from Sergio Aguero counted out a piece of pure genius from Di Marni, who scored after 14 minutes. And then Aguero got lucky first time after 37, and then City into the second. City 10-15 minutes into the second half got lucky again when Aguero just tapped it in, but Bravo got away with a few. Burnley should have had 2 penalties given for them. Blatant penalties, I should say. I'll be interested to see how that goes. Sean Dyche's interview goes. Stick around if you want, because Sean Dyche's interview will come up shortly. But oh, that is the cruelest defeat of the season. Up there with the Arsenal results earlier this season. And the referee, I have to say, deserves a heck of a lot of criticism. Otamendi should have been sent off for 2 yellow cards as well. City go top, by the way, undeservedly in my opinion. Burnley remained in 12th, but I'm absolutely distraught for Burnley today. Mariah Carey says, "You were amazing, great team, see you later, bye." Benini says Burnley were unlucky. And I have to be honest, it's Anthony Chavez. I'm not going to mention that. Any more comments from you, my son, and you'll be off. Okay, no swearing. I'm fed up of people going on there and downgrading other people. Please don't swear. We're just waiting to hear from Sean Dyche, but I'm absolutely disappointed really for Burnley today. They were so much the better outfit for so long. Dean Marnie's goal and then the 2 injuries. Let's hope they're not serious. And all the Burnley fans there streaming out as well, what more can we say about that, eh? They played terrifically well, Burnley, but yet the result has gone against them. Nice views from the drone of the cricket ground and all that sort of stuff, but it's not to be for Burnley today. Two-1, it's finished. The teams now have walked off. Benitez's got to go and see Gillingham against Rochdale next. But no, that's not at the forefront of my imagination or my mind. I'm so bitterly disappointed that Burnley have come out the wrong side of the games again. The decisions have gone against them. How many more decisions do we need to get? Absolutely frustrated, really it is. And we didn't deserve that. Robbery of the high standard, 2 clear penalties we should have had, and I just cannot accept that decision. I just cannot accept that decision whatsoever, and I'm sorry, but it's ridiculous, and I really want. I think the referee has not helped matters. Paul Robinson, let's have a word or two about him. Also waiting for reaction from Sean Dyche. We will get reaction before we finish the live game here. 2:30. It's 2:30 now in the afternoon. Half an hour before the 3 o'clock kickoff. So let's have a word about Paul Robinson. I thought he was magnificent today. Could do nothing about the 2 goals that was past him. He really played out of his skin, and he didn't let anybody down. I'm going to give Paul Robinson a bit of credit today. To say it was his best game for 2 years, he didn't look out of practice. He dealt with everything that was thrown at him. He was magnificent. He played some really good stuff. He was unlucky really not to really be on the winning side today. And we'll also have a look at we'll also have a word or two about the goal that put Burnley ahead. A terrific strike from Dean Marnie. Tremendous effort when he struck it with his right foot. It just blew in like a rocket, and it deserved to lead. We deserved to lead at that point, and then just, oh well. And then the comebacks. City get 2 lucky breaks from to score their goals. But Burnley defended manfully, played a lot better than what they did in my opinion against West Bromwich Albion, because that was an embarrassment. It was on Monday night. Nothing embarrassing about the performance, nothing to be ashamed about really today. They really put up a brave battle, and on another day Burnley could have been winning the game, but it wasn't to be. The referee was appalling. Should Burnley have had 2 clear penalties in the first 10 minutes, and not long after Manchester City had scored, both from Jeff Remnant. Otamendi should have been penalised for the first one. It's a clear push, should have been a penalty. Second one, there may be a little bit more debate before that whether he was offside or not, so I'm not so convinced about the second penalty maybe, but certainly the first penalty I take a great deal of issue with the referee, and I'm sorry to say that his performance, Andre Mariner, today was an absolute disgrace. It needs to be said, because you know, when he looks back at that performance, when he gets home to Birmingham later tonight, he will look at it and he'll think he's had a bit of a shocker, really, giving certain decisions to Manchester City. There's a nice picture of the Turf Moor now. It's all emptied out. Really two lucky goals, and they don't deserve 3 points in my opinion. Burnley gave it their best shot, but there you go, it just wasn't to be. And we're not going to hear any interviews from these two from Manchester City, because we're not going to give them the time of day, because they won by default in my opinion. Burnley were the better team and don't deserve any, and Manchester City don't deserve any credit from me whatsoever, because they were very fortunate to win this game today. I'm not having the fact that City won fairly and squarely. They didn't win fairly and squarely, and that's something that's difficult to possibly take at the moment. But there you go. But Burnley should be proud of the effort they put in. To get no reward out of a game that we should have had a point from frustrates. The City players obviously getting interview there, but we ain't going to show that interview. I won't be showing this interview. Sorry City fans if there's anybody listening in, but I was just looking at the stats. 33% to 67% possession. We knew City would have more of the ball. They had 21 attempts, however, to Burnley's 10. 5 each on target, so it could have gone either way. Any more stats? 5 corners to 80 Man City's favour. Not any matter in the grand scheme of things, although City did score for one of the corners. 14 fouls to 17 City's favour, believe it or not. Any more statistics? 145 passes Burnley to 443 City. Pass accuracy 54 Burnley, 81 Man City. That's percentage. Otamendi apparently had more touches, as Bagby-Sangha had more touches than anybody else. But I'm not going to even bother giving Otamendi any credit at all, because let's be fair, he doesn't deserve any respect from me. Tackles and interception. Tarkowski made 6 for Burnley. That was really, he put himself about really well. And I have to say, it was a marvellous piece of anticipation. Panini's better today, just to be fair. Liverpool 3, Sunderland 1, 10-1 if you fancy that. Defoe to score first and Liverpool to win 3-1. But if you are going to have a flutter on any game this afternoon, please bet responsibly. Don't damn anyone. I'm not going to be giving free bets out to anyone. I'm not one who gambles, but if you like a flutter, please do bet responsibly. We're still waiting to hear from, I'm sure, what will be a disappointed Sean Dyche. The ball just ricocheted every time Burnley tried to clear it. They just couldn't, and in the end City just got lucky. It was just, there was no way they deserved to win the game. I didn't think they were that brilliant, and people might accuse me later on of being a sole loser and that, but I can't accept the fact that City won. They got away with 2 penalty decisions, scored 2 lucky goals, and if Gudmundsson and Marnie had not got injured, how different could it all have all been for Burnley? We're just waiting to hear, hopefully, from Sean Dyche. Hopefully we'll hear from him very soon. we have the BT Sport. It'll be live not just on BT Sport but on this YouTube channel as well, hopefully before the end. If we don't get it into you, don't blame me. I'm hoping to hear from him. We're all hoping to hear from him. Well, it's in the lap of the gods with the television cameras, TV people, but that's a penalty. I'm just looking at that first penalty decision. That's a clear penalty and a possible red card, because Otamendi was one of the last men back as well from the set piece, so maybe they got away with it. And then there's the second one. There was second half chances. That was a Bravo came, mispunched, should have been punished, got away with it. Then there was the Barnes overhead kick. I tell you what, if it had been a much better connection and a bit more accurate, that was 2-2. But City got away with it, there's no doubt about that, and didn't deserve to come on the end of the wrong end of a 2-1 scoreline. So we're just waiting for Sean Dyche now. No, it's Pep Guardiola. We're still waiting for Sean Dyche. Let's actually see what Pep Guardiola has to say, actually.
Yeah, it's good news. Yeah, that's true. Away, except White Hart Lane, won in Stoke City, West Brom, Crystal Palace here. So all the games quite similar. So it's so complicated, so difficult. So you want to control that. It's almost impossible, but. Some of the faults, it's our fault, some because I have to understand the referees here, because still I don't understand the referees, so I need time to understand them. But we are so satisfied for the score, for this point, for the performance, especially after Champions League, just 2 days, and the people show a lot of personality, and after 1-0 down in this stadium where after Chelsea is the best team at home, so we are so happy now. Finally, we'll have one long week to rest a little bit and to prepare our game against Chelsea.
Yeah, and he scored some spectacular goals, Sergio Aguero. Not today, but they count just the same, huh?
He's his talent, so counts the same.
Yeah.
So today was brilliant. He played really well. He moved well. So. He made a good game. He did a really good game.
And I think a physical battle today, often the ball in the air coming into your box, your team perhaps doesn't always find that easy. They dealt with that well today?
It's almost impossible to defend that. So they are taller than us. The ball is a flat ball, so second balls they are good, and cross, and they're so dangerous. So all the teams here in Premier League, especially this kind of team, they do really well, and I have to improve a little bit how you solve that. I want to see this kind of actions, how we have to solve, because in Spain, in Germany, it doesn't happen, and here happen a lot, and if you don't control that, it's almost impossible to win the game.
Chelsea next week, and now you've been to Burnley.
Yeah. I've been here.
And you go home with 3 points and have a few days off.
Well, I'm sorry. Well, Panini says see you later. Thanks very much, Panini, for listening today. But I can't agree with half of what Guardiola says. I think Burnley were robbed. I don't think City were better. I don't think they controlled much of it, even if that's dictate otherwise. But I'm sorry, but I can't accept the defeat in that sort of manner. We're still waiting to hear from Sean Dyche, because I'm sure they'll be disappointed with a couple of refereeing decisions. Hopefully we'll get some news on Tom Heaton before we leave, and obviously the other two as well. Let's hope so. I hope we haven't run out of time, because I'll be disappointed if they haven't done the Sean Dyche interview. They need to do the Sean Dyche interview, surely. I don't think they're going to even give us a chance to give us a Sean Dyche interview, which I'm bitterly disappointed. So we're not going to get Sean Dyche's interview, which I'm disgusted with BT Sport about. Shame on you guys. So I'm afraid we're not going to hear anything from Sean Dyche, I don't think. But we'll try and hear something later. I'm so disappointed. I know they've got a working time restraints and stuff like that, but I'm sorry. It's an absolute shambolic when It's an absolute shambles when you can't even play the Sean Dyche interview. I'd like to have heard what he said and what he meant, but it's just, oh, it's pathetic. It really is pathetic. I just think, BT Sport, shame on you. Anyway, thank you very much for listening. It's a defeat for Burnley today. We'll try and, I mean, there's no point in hanging around now. I need to get off. I'm absolutely tired. I'm poofed out. I'm absolutely knackered, and I'm just going to go and have a lie down and chew the fat on what was a robbery today, because City, for winning the game, they'll probably applaud themselves for it, but in the way that it happened, I just can't accept. From me, JB Johnston, please join us for another Clarets match very soon, and there'll be more commentaries coming up in the near future. But Burnley played a lot better than what they did against West Bromwich Albion earlier, but unfortunately it wasn't meant to be, because City got away with two blatant penalty appeals, two blatant penalty decisions which should have been given to Burnley, and they scored two lucky goals. As I said, thank you very much, and if you haven't subscribed to the channel and would like to, please do. We'll see you for another Clarets match very soon. There's more FIFA content coming on very soon as well, but for me, for the time being, take care and enjoy your weekend. Good night. Goodbye.